Hello, dear viewers, and a very warm welcome back to our channel. It's wonderful to have you join us once again as we delve into the intricate world of the British royal family. If you, like us, follow the developments within the House of Windsor with keen interest, perhaps holding a special place in your heart for its history and its members, then you certainly won't want to miss today's discussion. We're going to be exploring a rather sensitive and quite talked about situation involving King Charles III and his younger son Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Today we have an update that touches upon the delicate balance between royal protocol, family communication, and the ongoing narrative surrounding the Sussexes' relationship with the monarchy. We'll be unpacking recent reports concerning King Charles's health and a controversial decision allegedly made by Buckingham Palace regarding the flow of information to Prince Harry. It's a story that has sparked considerable debate and raised questions about the current state of affairs within the family. Before we dive deep into the heart of this matter, if you find our royal insights valuable, please do take a moment to show your support. Click that like button just below the video. It truly helps our channel reach more enthusiasts like you. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and perhaps ringing that notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. We also genuinely love hearing your perspectives, so please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below as we go along. Now let's turn our attention to the core of today's story. Recently, as many of you will be aware, His Majesty King Charles III has been undergoing treatment for a form of cancer, a diagnosis he bravely shared with the public earlier this year. This period has understandably involved adjustments to his public duties and, according to reports, included a brief, necessary hospital admission related to managing the side effects of his ongoing treatment. While the king continues his constitutional duties behind the scenes and is showing remarkable resilience, this recent hospital stay has inadvertently brought another, more familial issue to the forefront. The crux of the matter, and what has captured the attention of royal watchers and commentators worldwide, revolves around communication, specifically the alleged decision by Buckingham Palace officials not to directly inform Prince Harry about his father's temporary hospitalization beforehand. This reported withholding of information has ignited a fresh wave of discussion about the strained relationship between the Duke of Sussex and the institution he was born into. Stay tuned as we unpack all the fascinating and perhaps concerning details behind this moment. We'll explore the perspectives offered, the potential reasons behind the palace's reported actions, and what this might signify for the future of family relations within the world's most famous monarchy. So, let's break down the sequence of events as reported. We know King Charles is receiving regular treatment following his cancer diagnosis. It's common knowledge that such treatments can sometimes lead to side effects requiring medical attention or brief hospital stays for management. Reports surfaced suggesting the king experienced such side effects, necessitating a short period of hospitalization. During this time, he naturally had to temporarily step back from some forward-facing public engagements, allowing him the necessary space to recover and focus on his health. This, in itself, is understandable and expected. However, the controversy arose with reports, notably highlighted by publications like The Sun, and discussed by commentators such as Ellen Coughlin, indicating that Buckingham Palace made a conscious choice not to directly notify Prince Harry, who resides in California with his wife Meghan Markle and their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, about this specific hospital visit. Why would such a decision be made? According to the narrative presented in some reports, the rationale allegedly offered by palace sources was a desire to prevent causing Prince Harry unnecessary concern. This justification, however, has been met with significant skepticism and criticism. Is shielding an adult son from news about his father's health, even a brief hospital stay, truly considerate, or could it be perceived differently? This event holds a deeper meaning, especially when placed in the context of the existing dynamics within the royal family. Since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped back from their roles as senior working royals in 2020 and subsequently relocated to the United States, communication lines have appeared, at least publicly, to be strained. This latest incident seems to underscore that ongoing tension. Royal commentator Ellen Coughlin, speaking recently to GB News, offered a particularly pointed critique of the palace's alleged handling of the situation. She didn't mince her words, suggesting this was a significant misstep. Coughlin stated quite clearly, and I quote in essence, all of King Charles's children should have been informed before the media. This implies a belief that family members, regardless of their official royal standing or geographical location, deserve the courtesy and respect of hearing sensitive news directly, rather than discovering it through news alerts or public announcements. Coughlin elaborated on her viewpoint, suggesting that this decision, far from protecting Harry, potentially serves only to isolate Harry further. She also described the alleged action as appearing dismissive of his role as the king's son. This perspective frames the issue not just as a logistical choice about information flow, but as a symbolic act that potentially diminishes Harry's place within the immediate family structure, regardless of his choices regarding royal duties. It touches upon the fundamental relationship between a father and a son, a bond many believe should transcend protocols and disagreements. Adding another layer to this complex picture are claims reported by The Sun, citing an unnamed source purportedly close to the situation. This source painted a rather poignant image of the Duke's current state, suggesting he misses his family but communication has broken down. The source further alleged he longs for the camaraderie he once had, but his social circle now largely consists of Meghan's acquaintances. While we must always treat anonymous sources with a degree of caution, these comments, if accurate, suggest a personal toll that the ongoing estrangement might be taking on Prince Harry, making the alleged lack of communication about his father's health feel even more pointed. It's a heartfelt, albeit reported, sentiment, the idea of longing for lost family connection and camaraderie. If this is indeed how the Duke feels, then learning about his father's hospitalization indirectly, or after the fact, could understandably be perceived as deeply hurtful, reinforcing feelings of separation and distance. This gesture, or lack thereof, showcases the complex web of emotions likely swirling around this situation, concern for the king's health mixed with the pain of fractured family ties. To truly grasp the weight of this recent incident, it's helpful to take a brief look back at the broader context, the historical backdrop against which this drama is unfolding. The relationship between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the rest of the royal family hasn't been smooth sailing for several years now. Their decision to step back as senior royals in early 2020, often dubbed Megxit by the press, sent shockwaves through the institution and dominated global headlines. Their stated desire was to carve out a new path, seeking financial independence and a life away from the intense media scrutiny they felt was unbearable in the UK. This departure was followed by a series of high-profile interviews, most notably the conversation with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, and Prince Harry's own memoir, Spare, released in early 2023. These public airings of grievances included allegations of racism within the family, lack of support, particularly for Meghan's mental health struggles, and details of private disagreements and tensions, particularly between Harry and his brother, Prince William, the Prince of Wales. While these actions allowed the Sussexes to tell their side of the story, they also undoubtedly deepened the chasm between them and the core members of the royal family back in Britain. Trust, a fragile commodity in any family, appeared significantly damaged. Since then, interactions have been limited and seemingly carefully managed. We saw Prince Harry attend the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, in 2021, and both Harry and Meghan were present for some of the events surrounding the Platinum Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022, though their role was notably low-key. Harry also returned for the late Queen's state funeral later that year. More recently, following the public announcement of King Charles's cancer diagnosis, Prince Harry made a swift, albeit brief, solo trip to the UK to visit his father, a gesture many observers hoped might signal a potential thawing of relations. However, this latest reported incident concerning the hospital stay seems to pour cold water on those hopes, suggesting that fundamental communication channels remain blocked or are being deliberately bypassed. It raises questions about protocol versus personal relationships. Traditionally, the palace operates with a degree of formality and control over information, especially regarding the monarch's health. There's a never complain, never explain ethos that has often characterized the institution. Yet, in the 21st century, especially with family members living continents apart, one might expect personal sensitive news to be relayed directly, son to father, father to son, before any official statements are prepared. The failure to do so, if reports are accurate, reflects the complex intersection of the British monarchy's ancient traditions and the very modern, very human realities of a family grappling with internal conflict and public scrutiny. It highlights the difficult balance the palace must strike between protecting the king's privacy, managing public perception, adhering to protocol, and maintaining personal family ties. Could it be that in trying to manage the first three, the last crucial element, simple family communication, was overlooked or intentionally sidelined? This event, therefore, doesn't just stand alone. It reflects the rich and sometimes turbulent history of the modern monarchy and its ongoing adaptation to changing times and internal challenges. It touches upon core values often associated with the crown family, duty, resilience, and unity. When communication breaks down so publicly, it inevitably leads to questions about the strength of those very values within the family itself. So, where does this leave us? This story, centered around a specific instance of alleged non-communication, serves as a potent reminder of the enduring rift between Prince Harry and the royal family. It suggests that despite the geographical distance, the emotional chasm may be just as wide, if not wider. The alleged decision by the palace, regardless of the intention behind it, appears to have inadvertently highlighted, rather than hidden, the fragility of the connection. It underscores the deep personal hurt that can arise from such situations. For any son, learning about a father's health challenges through media reports rather than a direct call would likely be upsetting. When that father is the king and the son is a duke living under the global spotlight, the implications become magnified, feeding speculation and commentary worldwide. This incident reminds us of the enduring power and sometimes the profound difficulty of family relationships, even royal ones. Love, loyalty, communication, and forgiveness are complex issues in any family, perhaps even more so when played out on such a public stage, bound by centuries of tradition and expectation. It's moments like these glimpses into the personal challenges behind the ceremonial facade, that paradoxically keep the world captivated by the royal family. They are seen as symbols, as heads of state, but they are also parents, children, siblings, dealing with universal human experiences, illness, disagreement, estrangement, and the hope, however faint it might sometimes seem, for reconciliation. The question that hangs heavy in the air is whether the bridges between the Sussexes and the monarchy, already weakened, can withstand these continued strains, or if, as some fear, the damage is becoming irreparable. And that brings us to you, our valued viewers. We've laid out the reports, the commentary, and the context surrounding this latest development. Now, we truly want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this exciting, or perhaps troubling news? Do you believe Buckingham Palace made a mistake in reportedly not informing Prince Harry directly about the King's hospital stay? Or do you think their alleged reasoning to avoid unnecessary worry holds any water? How do you feel about the ongoing situation between Prince Harry and the royal family? Do you think commentator Ellen Coughlin is right that this further isolates the Duke? And perhaps the biggest question of all, do you believe reconciliation is still possible, or are the divisions now too deep? Let us know your honest opinions in the comments section below. We read as many as we can and truly value the discussion. And as we near the end of our video today, a gentle reminder. If you found this discussion insightful or thought-provoking, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up like button. It makes a real difference. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so to join our community of royal watchers. We strive to bring you regular updates and thoughtful analysis. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Your time and attention are greatly appreciated. We hope you enjoyed delving into this complex royal story with us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your valuable thoughts with us in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video with more news and inspiring stories from the royal family. Stay tuned, take care, and goodbye for now.